So last time we added a lot of different payloads. Today we'll add some extensions to open up those payloads. First, let's make a new group called extensions. And in that group, let's create a new file, Swift file, and we'll name it file plus extensions. I'll get rid of this, get rid of that for now also. And we're going to make an enum. We'll only have one value right now. And you'll notice I only added that, but there's also a none value in the enum. We'll make a function named data from path, which takes a string. Then it takes an extension. But we'll make that optional and we'll default it to none. And it returns an optional data type. So let's create a URL. Using what we just passed. Okay, that's throwing me off, the lack of autocomplete. And if that fails, we'll return nil. Then we'll try to get the contents of our URL, and that should build. Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and import foundation. Oh, we had an extra parentheses there from autocomplete. Thank you, autocomplete. And then, oh, we need a contents of. We just got a little ahead of autocomplete. That's okay. It happens sometimes. That's all we want to do there. Let's go ahead and add an extension for data. We'll name it data plus extensions. That we're making it plural. If we were building out a lot of extensions, we may end up breaking them out into separate files. So it would be named something more like file plus data, or data plus our function name that we're about to add just now, or our computed variable. Is the way I think I'll do this. We'll make a Json decoder, and then we'll try to decode it using our decoder. It's an optional, and if not, we'll return self. Oh, typing's a little off this evening. Okay, so we've added an extension to file that lets us load files in our bundle and returns a optional data type data. And then we've added an extension to data that can take that data and map it to our pod model. I think the next thing to do is let's select the very top here, select SpacePod, and let's add a new target. And let's filter test. Make sure you don't add a UI test. We want to add a unit test right now. All of these settings are fine. You can see here, adding it to our project. Critical part is where this target to be tested or is a SpacePod. So we'll go ahead and add that. And that's something's wrong. So something's gone wrong when we tried to add that. That's okay. So we see we have our target. Let's add a test. We'll just add a file there. We might be able to do this and add it back. So if you hit a problem like that, I'm going to remove the target. We'll just start over. We'll add a new target. Type unit test. Okay. I think we have to have the project selected when we do that. I like getting rid of this. Some people don't like that. I just like to get it out of the way so we have a little more, we can see what we are interested in a little more easily. And we go ahead and add this, we'll import SpacePod and make it testable. And then we'll write our first test function. We'll name it test load pod from file for now. And that tests have to start with, they have to start with the word test. We'll get our first payload as a JSON. And, you know, I think I'll just name that pod and then we'll just say to pod. That should build. It might complain, but that's okay. And then we're going to say xct assert equals pod equal to our default pod. Okay, and let's go ahead and run that test. We see it looks like it failed. So we've got a couple of things that we need to change here. One, let's go here and let's make it hashable. And it takes a little bit while it runs this. We'll notice it still failed, but for a different reason. And if we look, the dates are different. So it's a different payload. Let's go back into PAW and we'll get the correct payload for the 6th of December, 2021. And we'll copy and paste that into our payloads folder in git pod. We'll paste it, and we might need to reflow the text just to make it consistent across all our files. And let's try to run that test again. Okay, that's great. So we saw it fail, which is great, and now we see that it passes. That's it for today. And I think this puts us in a good position to start making some changes to our model that we need going forward so we can display lots of pods, but also after that we can start to cache data so we're not having to hit the API every time.